Hello and welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. This is Jeff, and today we have the fourth and final installment of building the logging railway, which is a Bricklink Designer Series 2 set, and it is set number 910035, and we're starting on bag number 15. Greg's here. Let me add him here. Hey, Greg, how's it going?
Nothing much.
Long time no talk to.
I went to
And
Five Guys today.
how was it?
It was pretty amazing.
Well, good.
Have you been there?
Did you? Oh yeah. Did you have any of their complimentary peanuts before you ate the burgers?
No, I was saving room for the burger and
Okay.
and a bag full of fries.
Yeah, they do give you a massive. Jeff, you need a haircut. Hey,
Mm,
John, actually, I was thinking about doing that right after this. Well, yeah, they always give you way too many fries, man. But it's awesome they do that though, because you could literally share fries with somebody else.
hey, John. They could they could actually put Philly cheese fries on there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, Greg, you usually ask about the animal, so I got a story to tell you. Enzo was kind of being a butthead, and
In
he
your
didn't.
Beavis.
Huh?
In your Beavis.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well, he didn't. He didn't eat anything for or
mm,
drink for 24 hours, which I don't know why. He just didn't. Um,
mm.
so
He's,
last night, before I went to bed, it
I
was
think
really
he's a I think it's a practicing Muslim dog.
well, it was
Mhm.
irritating me because he wasn't taking care of himself. I mean, he's got plenty of food and water.
Mhm.
So anyway, I stood there and I pointed him downstairs and I told him to go downstairs, and he wouldn't do it at first. And so I yelled at him, and when I did, Max acted like he was scared, hissed at me, and he ran away. And he went to the top of the stairs. Well, I yelled at Enzo again, and I told him go downstairs. And so anyway, Enzo, he understands that command, so he made it for towards the stairs. And I didn't realize that Max was not hissing at me. Max actually hissed at Enzo when Enzo passed him, and he swiped him with his claws for Enzo being a dork.
Mm.
So
You,
yeah,
you
John, I do like your shelves, and I was gonna type this to you. I'm sorry, it's been a really busy day, John. I would actually make sure they're not right next to each other, and that way no one's gonna notice any slight color differences at all. Um, I actually, when I repainted some of the trim on this house, I had to repaint the trim on around one of the outer doors, and I couldn't match the paint exactly. It's a little bit darker, the new one, but because it's not right next to any of the rest of the trim, no one notices. Only I do.
Hey, Kenneth.
Hey, Ken, how's it going? The only reason I'm here early is because the assembly line that I'm on got done with this week's truck, and now, oh, awesome, awesome, yeah, yeah, Greg. You said we talked a little earlier. You said you're gonna do Thanksgiving
At my mom's.
at your mom's. Okay,
Where you gonna have Thanksgiving at?
I don't know now. My mom's been having trouble. She has diabetes, and well, long story short, she's not really taking care of herself the way she should, and her legs and feet have swollen way up, and she
Mm.
had to get some meds to help with water retention to quit. Um, anyway, she just sent a text out today saying that she canceled Thanksgiving at her house because she's not feeling up to it. Well, yeah, if she's like that, she can't even really walk around that well. So um, I don't know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving.
Mm.
Kind of got last minute canceled there.
But cook some turkey fajitas or something.
Yeah, probably.
That
Um,
sounds good.
my neighbors next door invited me over. So I
Mm.
might do that. They're really good actually. She's her and her husband. They're awesome. They're retired. I've talked about them before, and they're just the kind of neighbors that you really want because like they help me out. I help them out
Uh,
whenever I've got the 2 acres that are fenced in, and the 2 acres are separated, separately fenced. And during the spring and summer months, I let them put 3 horses back there and graze for free. But in return, every time it snows, he plows my driveway for free, and I've
uh,
got like a really long driveway.
you
So,
forgot to turn your camera around.
oh, I did. Well, you're right. I did. All right. Sorry about that. There we go.
Uh, the Da Vinci's flying machine got revealed.
Yeah, I saw that. I think you're the one that sent it to me, if I
Yep.
remember right. Uh,
500 pieces for $50. I think that is quite a steal right there.
yeah, yeah. I don't think that's too bad of a price at all either. All right, so here we just got to kind of build the bridge, which is going to be interesting all by itself. But yeah, I'm hoping that my sister will, because my parents were sick 2 years ago, and they didn't do Thanksgiving. They canceled just like this, and my oldest sister decided to have Thanksgiving at her house. I'm not sure what she's going to do, but I'm hoping that whatever she decides, she lets me know soon so that I can, because I would love. I mean, I'll go to the neighbor's house too. They're awesome.
Did they have a big Lego room so they can be in be at home away from home?
No, but
Mm.
she has an older son. Because okay, so they're both on their second marriages. I guess his first wife died of cancer. Anyway, she they don't have any kids together. But her kid, one of her kids, he's older, really good guy. He's in the Army National Guard, and it was really funny. The first time he came over to visit her after I moved in 2.5 years ago, she sent him over here, and he was like, yeah, my name is so and so, and my mom says you have a large Lego collection." So I was like, yeah, and I was like, he introduced himself and all that, told me, and anyway, got to talking to him. He's got a really large collection too. He loves collecting Lego, so we got a lot in common there. Let's see. Ken says when I go back to work again on Monday, I'll be doing 10 5-hour days till close to February. Wow, it's an amazing story. I'm on bag 3 of my GM Bricklayers Blue Lions cast. Awesome, man. Um, and if you want to, Ken, I do have a Facebook page for this channel called the Chip Off the Old Block Toys. And you are always welcome to post pictures on there if you'd like. I like seeing people's progress on their stuff, and not too many people post on there like they used to. But you're welcome to. I'd love to take a look. Um, And John says, "Happy Thanksgiving" in chat, and happy Thanksgiving back. Mrs. Chip's here. Hi, Miss Chip. She came back from playing around in the desert there in California, Death Valley, which I don't think I'd ever want to be out there. But if I was going to be out there, being out there this time of year is probably best instead of July.
Mm. So, we any Black Friday purchases?
Um, I was thinking about that. Um, is that when Jabba Cell Barge is being released, or has that already been released?
That's already been released.
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
the, the Endurance Polar Ship's gonna come out.
which one's that one?
Uh, the big black and white and tan one.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet. Then, um,
I think I have a picture. No, I
I
don't want
thought I
that one.
thought about buying Jabba's sail barge, and that's because I have the original one, and I'd like to compare them.
Photos.
And I also noticed they came out with the new Sarlacc pit, which I've got two different versions of that, so that'd be a third one if I got it. Well, let's see. John says I have. Oh, Ken, I'm sorry, I missed that one. Ken says, "Wow, it's an amazing story. Thank you." And John says, I have to get back to my Kobe builds. I've had some builds from shelves. And oh, if you guys would hit the like button. And if you're watching this on the replay, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. And I think I told you guys this last thing that I've talked to my sisters and most of my nieces and nephews. You know, been doing this channel 4 years. They've grown up and none of them watch this anymore. So I don't mind making this a little more adult content because they're not on here. So I got a joke for you guys. And I'm going to start sharing at least one adult joke per live stream. And this one is, what's about 6 inches long, has nuts on the end, and really excites women? I guarantee it's not what you're thinking. It's an Almond Joy bar.
I sent you a picture of the Endurance.
Okay. My phone's off camera charging right now. John says a bull. All right. I missed a couple. John says, welcome back, Mrs. Chip. And my nephew is a former Marine. Okay. Awesome. And let's see. Mrs. Chip says that's true. And I assume she's talking about being in Death Valley this time of year, where the highs are in the high 70s, 80s versus 120 to 130 sometimes even. I would never, oh my gosh, I'd never want to be out there. I think 130 is pretty extreme for them, but I know that being in the 120s is not.
Imagine being in Phoenix, Arizona during the summer.
I have a sister that lives in Mesa, just right outside of Phoenix. I went to visit her once. She's nuts. I could not live in that. No way.
During the summer.
Yeah, I did visit her in like June, and she was like, it gets hotter in July and August. I'm like, well, you can keep that dang weather because I'm not interested.
It's more of a dry heat over there.
It is dry. Ken says, I'm sorry. Ken says, awesome. The reason I'll be doing 10 hours is because they cut third shift on that line. Then okay, cool.
Right
Was
here
that
is right here is more of a wet heat.
Yeah.
And
It's humid where you're at?
Most of year round.
Yeah.
And you get swamp butt mostly every day.
Yeah, where Mrs. Chip is at, it's kind of right on the border of the humidity and the dry side of Texas. So you'll have days where the humidity's not too bad, but then the very next day it's 80% humidity and it sucks. So it's really hard to get used to because it's not consistently one way or the other.
And you get swamp butt almost every day. You know that feeling, right?
Yeah, well, y'all can keep that. I like my dry Idaho heat here. So let's see. John says he forgot to hit the like button. Well, I was going to save this joke for the next one, but I got another joke for you guys that's not appropriate for kids. So if you're a kid and watching this, mute it for about 30 seconds. Do you know what's about 6.5 inches long, has a bald head, and really excites women?
Lex Luthor.
Good guess. It's money. Think of the dollar bill. I like the lick button. Well, okay. All right. Sean. Well, we're going to finish this up tonight because I want to get this done so we can do the Jaws set, which I have sitting right here. Yes. Oh.
And
You can't really get it in there too. Oh, there you go. Kind of there. But yeah.
we have a Southern Dracula here. Instead of a bat, he turns into a mosquito.
Oh, the last time I was visiting Mrs. Chip in Texas, I wanted to show you guys something here. Let me present my screen here for a second. Share screen. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Actually, I want to make that large. How do I make that large? There we go. So the last time I was in Texas, just at randomly, it's actually really funny. This building right here that the mouse cursor's on, that's a strip club. Now, I've never been to it or anything, but it is a strip club. And right next to it, for no damn reason, there are 2 cabooses. And they actually still have the wheels on them, which is really unusual because a lot of times when they sell box cars and stuff, they take the wheels off because it makes it a lot less heavy and they can transport it. But they actually moved it here with the wheels. There is a railroad track there. And I checked the map. There is no railroad track within a mile. So I don't know why or how it got there.
I can think of something.
Huh?
Caboose equals strip club. Do the math.
Oh, you could be. Yeah, you're probably on to something there. Let me. Oh, come on. Where's my mouse? I need to stop sharing and get us back. Okay, there we go. And let's see. Ken's got a joke for us. He says, I've just followed your Facebook page. Why did the tiger went to the commode? I don't know. And I need to put back my instructions on the other page there. Or they covered up the tracks, removed the tracks. Oh, John, that could have happened. I just find it very interesting. And I tried to get my own picture of it, but it's a very busy road right there, and it has signs everywhere that says no trespassing. So there's no way I could get a picture of it on my own because, I usually drive by myself, and I'm not going to put my truck in jeopardy. Speaking of which, man, I went to I came home late last night, and it was raining really good, and I kept thinking to myself, if the temperature drops, we're going to be in trouble. And by the time I got to Tremonton, a little past it, I started sliding all over the road. So I looked at my temperature thing in my truck and realized it had dropped below freezing in that area. And that area is always a problem whenever there's bad weather because you have to go up and down a few hills as you make your way through the mountain. Anyway, it changed over to snow. And with it raining cats and dogs, it was snowing really hard. There's a big patch of fog, hard to see. And I slowed down to 45, put my hazards on because I ain't wrecking my truck. My truck's paid for. I'm not wrecking that.
Plus, Spencer has a dibs on it.
Yeah. Well, I slowed down to 45, put my hazards on, and did the right thing, And in the other lane, this freaking semi comes up on me, and he's doing, I'm not kidding, 85, 90, and the speed limit is 80, but given the conditions, there's no way we should have been doing that fast. Anyway, I thought to myself, I'm like, that guy's going to end up in the ditch. And what was really funny, well, not really funny, funny as ironic, was 10 minutes down the road, I saw the same semi, and yes, he was in the ditch. So, I mean, it cost him. I mean, he didn't get anywhere fast, and it cost him. And that's what I didn't want to have happen. And the punchline, okay, let me reread the joke. It was, why did Tigger went, oh, okay. Why did Tigger went to the commode? He was looking for a poo.
Hey, why did the cheetah escape the zoo?
Huh.
He was afraid to get spotted.
All right. Let's see. Either built for show. Oh, okay. Or they cut. Okay, I read that. Check out older area land maps. Yeah, I probably should. It's just interesting, and like I said, there's another place. I don't know if it still exists. Let me look real quick. I don't know. Oh boy, man! I'll tell you what. The state of Texas is freaking huge when you're driving across there. Let me tell you.
Oh, you think?
Oh, it's nuts, man. Okay, so this is Provo Canyon. Okay.
Here to El Paso's like 12 hours.
Yeah, isn't El Paso in the southwestern corner of the state?
Oh, it's at the far western tip of the state.
I'm not seeing it. I was trying to look for that place I was telling you about with the box card. Because there used to be a restaurant in Provo Canyon. Oh, well, now it's a Provo Gun Club. They have a shooting range there instead. Yeah, I guess they must have removed it. Anyway, sorry, I'll get back to building. Oh, God, 26 of these. Well, let me set this aside. I had my 2018 Nissan Versa for 7 years, and it's paid off. And you know something? That is awesome, dude. That's exactly why, even though I love my truck and I would like to get another one, I won't, because I haven't had payments in 4 years, man. I don't want payments. And same thing with Mrs. Chip's car. Her car, we bought it in 2012, and we paid it off within 2 years. And just don't have any payments. I don't like payments. I'm rolling on the floor laughing hysterically. By the by, I sent you something in chat regarding my surgery. Okay. Well, my phone's over there. You mean in like text message or I'm not following. Sorry.
You want to see where El Paso is?
Yeah.
Come. I'm right here. I'm right here, the border of Louisiana.
Okay.
And El Paso is like right over there.
And how many hours did you say it was?
That's 12 hours.
Oh, jeez. And Ken had a joke. He said, "Why did the blonde get fired from the M&M factory?" I think I've heard this one before, but I don't remember.
And that's 878 miles.
Dang.
El Paso's like near Las Cruces, New Mexico.
I've actually driven to see Mrs. Chip in Texas from Idaho in one day. um, I do not recommend it. Oh my gosh, it's 22 hours. So anyway, you come home and you're exhausted for 6 days. Well, let's see. John says, "Oh, I was billed. I wanted to tell you, but okay, all right. I'll take a look at it, John." Well, from Fort Myers, Florida to Pensacola, Florida is 9 hours. Yikes! Yeah, it's from where I'm at. It's 5.5, 6 hours to Boise, and that's not even the extreme northern part of the state. All right, let's see. John says, "Oh, Greg, I'm glad you are back. Jeff and I missed you. We did." She kept throwing away the W's. Okay, so the original joke was, why did the blonde get fired from the M&M factory? And it's because she was throwing away all the W's. Well, that reminds me of another joke that I know, and that is, do you know why the blonde's belly button was bruised?
Wow.
Because her boyfriend was blonde too. Mayo.
You go ahead.
Oh, he says, "Hey, I'm at work." Well, hey, awesome, dude. Where are you working at? Well, I mean, don't tell us the actual name, but I mean, like, what kind of job is it? That's what I'm asking. And do you enjoy it? He says, "I wasn't notified of your 3 free." Oh, sorry, man. I don't know. I know that YouTube is not consistent on that, and I don't know why. I have no control. Once I hit the thing, it's supposed to notify everybody who's asked for it. So I don't know what's going on there. And John said there's a Naval Air Museum I was planning on seeing. It's where the Blue Angels are. Oh, awesome. Processing invoices for the state. Okay. So like accounts payable, is that I've done that before. In fact, my last job, I was the IT guy who supported accounts payable for the hospital. And no, I don't miss that job. But I did start, well, I didn't start, but I have started the paperwork necessary to start at the IRS. So hopefully everything goes through. That will be the first part of the year I'll start that job.
You know why lions are terrible fibbers?
Why who?
Why lions are terrible fibbers?
Why?
Because they're lions.
All right. They're lying. All right. And I know I'm going to get killed for this joke because people can't take a joke, but I know I don't condone violence, but I'm going to tell this joke anyway. What do you do when your dishwasher breaks down?
Why?
You slap her. It's just a joke. I don't mean it. I don't condone violence. I've been married almost 28 years, and I don't hit Mrs. Chip. It's not something we do when we get angry. So I don't condone it. It's just a joke.
What happens if he used her good fabric shears as scissors?
You know something? I can remember. This is not a story Mrs. Chip's going to want me to tell, but I remember my daughter Jessica. I don't know if you guys are really familiar with scissors, but there's a brand called Gingers, and they're like top of the line scissors. So anyway, she had these really nice pair of Gingers. They were really sharp, and my oldest daughter took them and cut a bunch of construction paper with it. Which, if you know anything about scissors, you do not cut paper with them. It dulls them so quickly. and my daughter took my own wife's nice scissors and cut up a bunch of paper, and she had to get them sharpened. There, thank goodness at the time there was still a guy who went to Joann's Fabrics a couple times a month, and you could drop off your scissors and he'd sharpen them for you for a couple dollars. But yeah, my wife had to get those scissors sharpened after that. She was so freaking she was so mad. And I don't know, she says Miss Chip says hello is dead.
Mm-hmm.
What did you mean to say that? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to get a one-arm pole out of the tree? Oh, I've heard this one. Go ahead though. Go ahead. I've heard it, but go ahead. You wave.
How much do those gringers cost?
I don't know. She'd have to tell you. But those are like the Cadillac of scissors. They're real nice. So Mrs. Chip was really upset about that. Of course, my daughter. Okay, so I love my daughter, but she was a challenge to raise because she's the one with the issues, the mental health issues, and I was so mad at her. You know those little Star Wars action figures? Well, I happened to get a hold of a Princess Leia wearing the white outfit in the very beginning of the first Star Wars movie, and that thing unopened on eBay was selling for over $500. And I had kept it for over 15 years in its original package. My daughter decided one day just to go in there into my stuff, grabbed it and opened it and started playing with it. If Mrs. Chip wasn't there, I think some violence would have happened.
Her rear end's gonna be 50 Shades of Red.
Yeah, you're right. I told my boss I'm quitting before Thanksgiving. My pre-career arc is completed. Okay, all right. So how long have you worked there? And doesn't sound like you enjoy it, but I don't want to assume. Do you enjoy it? And as stated, too, guys, nobody has to worry about me working at the IRS. It's actually forbidden for me to look at anybody's tax returns or penalties. I can't look at anything related to anybody that I know.
Without consent?
No, I can't even. Not at all. You're just not allowed to. And actually, you'll be fired. And I learned that if you happen to, because like the way they feed you the returns that you work on, it's automatic. And if you happen to see someone's return that you know or are related to, you have to fill out a form. First of all, you have to close out immediately. And then you have to fill out a form to let them know it happened. Because they're really strict about that. They don't play around. They don't let you can't be looking at people's stuff. I meant you'd be dead. Oh, I would be? I didn't do anything. Speaking of Cadillac, did you hear they're entering the F Formula One? Really? No, I did not. I did not hear that. Okay, so I've got 26 of these, and I think they just go all the way across. Yeah, they do. Okay. Well, let's get it done then. Oh, shoot.
I went to Barnes and Noble yesterday.
Oh, see, Mrs. Chip would, if she was around, she would have been hanging off your arm. She loves that place.
It's like her second home.
I've lost a lot of money in that store.
I want to go to Mardell's though.
What is Mardell's?
Like a Christian bookstore.
Oh, okay. No, because I know you mentioned it yesterday, and I meant to look it up, but I just didn't get around to it.
And I went to the mall and got me some Charlie's cheesesteaks there.
Man, you're making me hungry, and I just ate. Yeah, I had. I was gonna make stuffed bell peppers, but I kind of forgot about it, and well, my bell peppers went bad, but the meat didn't. So I went ahead and made the fixings for what goes inside the bell peppers, and I just ate the fixings instead of having the bell peppers with it.
And I got crumble cookies afterwards.
Crumble, yeah. Now, does anybody remember the show In Living Color with Jim Carrey? And he was the only white guy on there. I love that show. That show was just wrong. Anyway, the reason why I mentioned that was because there was a scene where I don't remember what happened, but the guy was like, "Oh no, that's not how this cookie crumbles."
Next time I'm in Beaumont, I'm probably gonna go to, I don't know where. Either Suncoast or some second in Charles, probably.
Let's see. Miss Chip says I do love Barnes and Nobles. Yeah, she does. More than me, but yeah. Let's see. John says, yeah, I love their Lego second and coffee shop. Yeah, you know something? Barnes and Nobles does carry a good amount of Lego. But what's really funny is that here in Farmington, Utah, well, I say here, it's an hour and something away, but in Farmington, Utah, which is the closest Lego store to me. Okay, so I have to turn this around anyway, so I can do the other side, but so we put all these little things on here going up, and that's going to be for holding, I'm pretty sure, these little things right here to make it look like it's, well, see, my hand's in the way. Let me try it this way to make it look like wood. And I can't, it's so weird to do that. My brain does not operate in reverse.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
What is that?
You know what I mean?
No.
Off of Blazing Saddles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Blazing Saddles was, again, it's another show that you just can't make it today. I'm sorry. People would just lose their damn minds. But I think it's one of the best stories ever. Ken says, that's a amazing story, Jeff. I'm mesmerized by that story. I remember watching that show in the 1990s because I was too. So Ken, we must be the same age.
I think Barnes and Noble has a daycare service for Mrs. Chip.
So watch Mrs. Chip, keep her out of trouble. No,
yeah.
They like when she gets in trouble because she ends up spending all her money there. Okay, so we did this for one side. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have to do all that again for the other side. And yes, I am correct. We are starting on the other side. So let me slide this out of the way. Well, slide it a little bit. What was the name of that girl? Now, see, today it's not even funny. Well, people will say it's not funny, but who was that guy who dressed up as that ugly chick that could never get a date? God, I'm trying to remember her name on the show in Living Color. That was hilarious. I love that. And I love when a guy went on a date with him and he's like, I got to leave for a second. I need to get a pack of cigarettes. And she pulls out of her purse like 4 different brands. And she's like, which one? And he's like, oh, dang it. And then the next thing that she did, he's like, I got to get gas in my car. And she pulls out of her purse these 3 little containers. And she's like, I got leaded, unleaded, and premium, which, okay, for those who are younger, you probably didn't know that at one time, when I first started driving, you could buy leaded gas, and it was actually usually a little cheaper than unleaded. So anyway, that's the story. It's the crazy story. So and I know this is wrong. I know it's not politically correct, and I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm really not. But I love the guy, the handyman. That was messed up. That whole setup, man. And I love when in Living Color they did the videos of Michael Jackson. I don't know if I'm black or white.
He didn't lose any chocolate. He just added vanilla.
Yeah. Okay, Ken, I was born in the mid '70s, so we're not that much different on age. And then Max is over here sneezing. He's sick again. All right, so I got to do this 26 times again for this other side. Sorry, guys, I didn't write the instructions. I just do them. Wanda was her. That's right. That was awful. Oh man! And then Fire Marshal Bill with Jim Carrey. Put another shrimp on the Barbie. Personally, the F1 collaboration is the most anticipated license ever. You know, I used to have, and I still do actually. I don't think I got around to tearing those apart. I have some of the Formula One older ones. I don't know if they're doing it again, but
I wish they did a line full of NASCAR.
Yeah, that'd be fun too. The only question I have is if they made Dale Earnhardt's car, would it come with a broken seatbelt? Okay, I know. I'm going to get roasted for that in the comments. I don't know if you know that's how he died. He was racing and his seatbelt failed, and that's what killed him. So, the AG. Oh, okay, yeah. Those are the ones that I have. Okay, I have the finish line. I've got the garage. I've actually got quite a bit of the Formula Ones. And I looked over there because I used to have one up there because it was missing a couple pieces, and I was going to order it, but I put it away since. I've kind of given up on my Lego Kobe building for the moment. And John is letting us know, and it is true. I do normally watch some of it. Steve, Rancor Steve, is another YouTuber that I follow and support, and he's a good man. He's out of California. He's on Rumble, YouTube, and he likes to do every Tuesday night this thing called Manorama, and it's where he discusses men's issues. And I've actually been on one of his live streams during that. So yes. Formula One has global appeal. NASCAR doesn't. Lego has a NASCAR license, but NASCAR merchandise sells worse than F1. Yeah. You know something, Ken? I have to say, I hear that a lot. And when I tell people I have two grandchildren, and that one of them's 6, people are like, there's no way. You don't even look old enough to have one that's just born. I do hear that a lot. And I'm proud that I look a little bit younger than I do, because I don't feel younger than I am. I'll tell you that. I can't even wake up and get out of bed without something hurting. So I'm very, very proud. That's at least something that something's positive. Maybe it'll help me get a girlfriend. Oh, Miss Chip's on here. Shoot, I didn't say it. Sorry. I got to give her a hard time, man. That's just part of it. And if you guys have been on the streams long enough, you know she throws it right back at me. So,
your neighbors in the South must be smiling at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we haven't done an Enzo appearance, so let's do an Enzo appearance. Enzo, come here. Come here. Hey, come on. He's being stubborn, just like he wouldn't eat for 24 hours. I don't know what his deal is. Come here.
Hey, Enzo. Hey, Enzo.
Hey, Enzo, speak. Oh, come on, louder. Speak. Speak. That's weak. They can't hear that. Say it. Weak. Come on. Are you cute? Are you cute? Seriously, come on.
You'll go
Enzo.
get coyotes.
Are you
We'll
cute? Enzo. Yes, good boy.
You'll go get the coyotes.
Yeah. You know, this has been a couple weeks ago on one of my trips down to Texas. I stopped at the Horse Canyon rest stop in Utah. And I'm only mentioning their race because it's kind of funny. There was a black father with his teenage daughter, and I decided to exercise Enzo because he'd been cooped up in the back of the truck or the back of the bed, or not the bed, the back seat for several hours. So I let him out and I told him his command up, and that means to jump. And he jumped into the bed of the truck. And he was back there, and I was petting him, and this that family I was just telling you about. I don't know their name. Sorry, never got it. But they saw me there, and it was really funny because the dad's like, "Oh, that's a really beautiful dog," and I was like, "Hey, thanks, man." And his daughter's like, "Yeah, he's beautiful, but he looks like a damn wolf." And the dad's like, Dad goes, "Will you mind if I pet him?" And I don't care, but I always just because I don't want to be held liable. People, if they ask me if he bites, my standard answer is, well, he does have teeth, because I don't want people to be like, "Oh, you said he was gentle," and no, I'm on the off chance he decides to bite you. I don't, hey, whatever, you took the chance. So anyway, the dad asked me, he said, "Does he bite?" And I gave him the standard answer. I said, "Well, he does have teeth." And he pulls his hand back, and his daughter's like, "See, look at that. I told you, he bites you. You look like a damn wolf." And the dad actually ended up petting Enzo for a minute. The daughter, she never got the courage to do it. But they were cracking me up. They were some good people, and I in general, I don't like people, believe it or not. But I have found that in general, most people are good. It just seems like I run into a lot of jerks. But in this case, those were some good people to run into. And just the other day, I was walking Enzo, and this lady is driving by. She slows down, opens her window, and she's like, "Hey, that's a really cute dog, beautiful dog." And it was like, I mean, she even slowed down to say it. It's funny. So I'm falling in love with Lego again because of Formula One. I felt estranged from them for 2 months. Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that, man.
It's Gertie.
Gertie is good. I have not seen Gertie in about a week. I do want to see her. In fact, I'd like to have her over again. I love how she puts the neighbor dogs in their place. And let's see. John says the F1 sets will be saving me money, no interest at all. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch Formula One. I don't watch NASCAR very often, but if I am going to watch racing, because I'm, American, I do. And I've got a cousin who used to race stock cars, not NASCAR or anything, but I got to admit that cousin's kind of a butthead. He unfriended me and quit talking to me on Facebook, and in real life because I'm still friends with his ex-wife on Facebook. But they were married for like 20 years, so like I know her, and I'm not gonna sit there and like quit talking to someone just because you got divorced. She was never mean to me, and in fact, she wasn't even mean to him. He was my cousin's an idiot. He got himself a girlfriend before he separated from his wife, and then when she found out about it, he left her. But she didn't even do anything wrong, so I just think he's a selfish butthead. But anyway, he does race. He does race stock cars. That was the reason I brought him up. And I don't mean to be rude, but I do have some. I've got some of my family that are very well accomplished people, very refined. We've got the middle people like me who are just there. And then I've got the redneck branch of the family. And I say redneck, I mean they're almost purple necks. They're so redneck.
Alabama style rednecks.
Well, yeah, that and hearing banjo duels on outside on the roof. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's not that. Ironically, that part of the family's from Idaho here. Anyway. All right.
Did they sing Sweet Home Alabama?
Yep, and they love their mayonnaise sandwiches. No, I'm just kidding. I'd get my rear end kicked if they heard me say that. That'll make Thanksgiving dinner awkward. No, I'm just kidding. They don't normally go to Thanksgiving, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that way, okay.
They get drunk off of moonshine anyways.
They're definitely drunk all the time. Let's see. Ken says, I'm old enough to have 2 nephews and 1 niece. Awesome, man. I love my nieces and nephews. I've got some good nieces and nephews. There's one of them, I won't mention by name. He's turning 13, and he thinks he's all that, and he's kind of being a butthead. But I mean, I don't know a 13-year-old that's not a butthead. When I was 13, I was a butthead, so I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so now we got to start attaching these little bars, tubes, whatever they are, hoses, I guess they're called on Bricklink. And this is going to be very tedious because just the nature of the beast. My mom has a Chihuahua mix with Pomeranian dog. He's 4 years old. Oh, man. Yeah, I like Pomeranians, but I don't like Chihuahuas. Mrs. Chip had a Chiweenie. It was a Chihuahua mixed with a Dachshund. What do they call it?
Dachshunds.
Yeah. I hated that thing. It had the wiener dog body and this tiny little Chihuahua head on it. Ugliest looking thing.
Was it a demon dog?
What's that?
Was it a demon dog?
I thought so because you know those Sleep Number beds?
Yeah.
They're real expensive, okay? Well, we had one, and that damn dog chewed on the controls. And to replace that control was $200. And I told Mrs. Chip that if he ever did that again, I was going to remove his teeth with my pliers.
And my cousins.
Oh,
you go ahead.
I don't condone violence, but I probably would have done it in that case. Anyway.
My cousin has a Chihuahua. My cousin's wife has Chihuahua. And it's a demon dog through and through.
Oh, my boss needs me. Wish I could be here longer. Got to go. Okay, well, hey, good to see you, Mayo. And Mayo, are you still doing your live streams every Friday nights? Because if he is, go check him out. Oh shoot, I hate this because this is so complicated. I believe anything you say, Jeff, to a point. I'll admit I do like embellishing some of my stories a little bit. But that's one thing I kind of miss this. When I used to be involved in the Boy Scouts, sitting around the campfires, they used to give me a little bit of a story, like a couple details, and they said, "Can you make a story out of this?" And I do my best to come up with a good story for the campfire, and I'm actually pretty good at coming up with
And
stuff.
was there a s'mores night?
Yeah, we did that, and the best one we ever did was we did a camp out on Shasta Lake in Northern California near Redding, and we took a boat out to an island, and we camped out on called Slaughterhouse Island. And the real reason it's called Slaughterhouse Island because before the lake was built, there was a slaughterhouse, pig slaughterhouse there. Well, they only gave me that one thing, and they asked me to make a story, and I told them the real reason that it was called Slaughterhouse Island was because there was a mass murderer who used to live there, and I made up this crazy ass story. And you got to remember, these kids are what, 12 to 16, 17. So they liked my stuff.
Imagine taking the field trip to Skinwalker Ranch.
Well, I was kind of mean because after I told them that really scary story about this mass murderer, every now and again I throw a couple of rocks into the woods and be like, "Hey, I think it's his ghost." And a couple of the guys just about crapped their pants. Man, I totally forgot about that. I did that like 20 years ago. My goodness. No, I mean I like to have fun, and I do like telling a story. I do.
Imagine they took y'all to Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh yeah, actually, Skinwalker Ranch. I've watched a couple videos on different YouTube channels, but I watched a couple videos on that, and that stuff's kind of freaky, man. Those cows being surgically cut up and stuff. That I don't know, man.
And stay a few nights there.
Yeah. Didn't the government bought that, didn't they, to do research, and they never did conclude where it came from, but the weird stuff didn't stop happening when the government bought it. Well, here's a story, Ken, you can believe. I need to organize my garage. My tools are a mess. That's what happens when you have a son that used to live with you. He borrows stuff and then he never returns it. So that's a story you can write home about. That's true.
Imagine camping out in those abandoned Native American caverns in the Utah Rockies.
Yeah, it's in Utah and Arizona. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Wasn't that the Pueblo people, if I remember right?
Or Navajo?
Yeah. Well, actually, when I go to visit Mrs. Chip, I have to go through the Navajo Nation there, and that's where I told you a story. No, did I tell you that story? I don't remember if I did. I almost killed the guy without even. I was going through. I was on Highway 64 near Shiprock in New Mexico. That's the Navajo Nation reservation, and it was midnight. It was on election night too, because I remember I was kind of watching the results on my phone, even though I wasn't supposed to be when I was driving. But and it's midnight, and I'm got my truck, and I got my 7x14 trailer attached to it, and it's full of stuff. I'm bringing it down to Texas. I am loaded down. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm probably, with the truck, trailer, and everything on it, I'm probably 13,000 pounds. And out of nowhere, in the road, walking in the slow lane where I'm driving, This guy is just walking. And because it was how late it was, and because of not expecting someone in the road, I had to make a split-second decision. Do I swerve or do I hit the guy? Knowing that if I swerve with all that weight, I could possibly kill myself. Well, I decided to swerve. And oh my gosh, dude, in the rearview mirror, my trailer's got tandem axles on it, but I saw the trailer tilt, and I swear it was on two wheels for a while. Well, not for a while, but just it tilted and it rocked and it swayed back and forth. And the only reason that I did not end up crashing and flipping was because the road was straight for a while. And so I didn't have any curves to have to negotiate. I could just let off the gas and hold the wheel steady and hope that it evened itself out. And it did. I didn't hurt him. I didn't hurt myself. But oh my gosh, you want to talking about having to wear your brown pants that day? I was kind of hoping I was wearing my brown pants that day, because I just about needed it, man. It really scared the bejeebies out of me, because I mean that guy just, man, I'm driving it. The speed limit's 65, I think, on that stretch, and I was doing 65. And out of nowhere, this guy just appears, and oh my gosh, that was like the roughest thing, man. Yeah, I don't ever wish that upon anybody, dude. Not never.
There's a few places in Colorado I like to visit.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Family Hotel.
Okay, I don't know that one. What's its claim to fame?
It's it's claimed to be extremely haunted.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and that's where they filmed The Shining at.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
In,
I actually
in,
watched that one recently.
in Casa Bonita.
Don't know that one.
And the ADX Florence from a distance.
Well, I was gonna say, Greg, if you invite Mrs. Chip over, she might come over for Thanksgiving dinner. She gonna kill me later.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Like my friend Jim is always telling me, she can only kill you once. So,
And I can haunt, haunt somebody once. Mm.
Okay. So I'll tell you guys a quick story, and this one's not embellished. This one's just on its face value. Okay. At one time, I've told you guys, I was raised as a Mormon, and Mormons believe that, and I'm not trying to preach their doctrine, but I have to tell you at least some of what they believe, so the story makes sense. Mormons believe that they can baptize their dead. They don't dig up dead bodies or anything, but they believe you can be baptized in the stead of, for people who have died. And my great grandmother, she was originally a Mormon, but she decided in her teens that she didn't want anything to do with the church anymore. And so she had been kicked out of the church and all that stuff, and she technically would need to be rebaptized. Well, when I was going around, I served a 2-year mission for the LDS Church. And before I did that, I went and visited all my family, said my goodbyes for 2 years. And we went to go visit my great grandmother. And my great grandmother told me, she said, I'm going to tell you something right now. She said, if you decide to get baptized for me, she goes, I'll come back and haunt your ass after I die.
Oh, one more thing. Few missionaries at work are passing these out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've read it a few times. Uh, all right, let's see here. So now we are done with all the bags. And we are done with the whole entire set. Which, oh, what is this? 2,731 pieces. That is a
You
lot.
you recognize him?
Yeah, Joe Smith and his Golden Bible.
Mm.
You guys want to hear another story? Okay. Again, I have to explain a little bit so you guys understand why this is funny. Okay, so supposedly the story is that Joseph Smith found some gold plates in a hill and he translated them. That became the Book of Mormon. A lot of people call it the Golden Bible. And so one day, Spencer was about 9, 10 years old. And I told Spencer, I said, hey, there's some missionaries the next aisle over. And I said, hey, Spencer, go to those missionaries and ask them about Joe Smith and his Golden Bible because they hear that a lot. And Spencer's like, really? Should I do it? I said, yeah, I'll give you $5, man. So I'm like on the other side of the aisle. And Spencer goes up and he goes, hey, can you tell me more about this Joe Smith and his Golden Bible? And the missionaries look at him and they go, are you serious? And he goes, yeah, man. And my dad wants to know. And I did not tell him to say this. Spencer goes, my dad wants to know if he joins your church, how many wives can he have? And they're like, oh my gosh. And then Mormons pay 10% tithing. And Spencer told the missionaries, he said, my dad said he'll join your church today if you let him pay only 9% instead of 10. Where did this kid come up with that part? Because I didn't tell him to say that. I just told him about the Golden Bible. So anyways, I gave Spencer like $10 because I said only 5, but it was so good I gave him 10. Anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my stories. I hope you enjoyed the build. This is a fun build. And Greg, thanks for being on with me as always. I appreciate it. You guys hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will set up the jaws probably either Friday or Saturday, but we'll get the jaws started on some live streams. So you guys have yourself a good night, and I'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.